Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we can be reacting to
K-pop news. NewJeans fanbase caught violating law. Netizens are losing it.
So, things just got really messy in the NewJeans fandom. Recently, it was officially confirmed that a major NewJeans fanbase, Team Bunnies, which was raising money to fight malicious posts against the group, was referred to the juvenile division of
at
the
it
family
again.
court. And yes, the reason is serious. They allegedly violated South Korea's Fundraising and Gifts Act. The twist: the organizer at the center of this is
Look how
reportedly
much
a
money
minor.
they
According to
raised
reports,
compared to the cancer event. Like, this is a small group. They didn't have no K-pop idols,
Yeah.
no special tricks.
Well, they used NewJeans for I mean,
I mean,
they ran on a NewJeans name.
yeah,
Kinda.
but still, that event had like a lot of idols.
Yeah, they did. No, absolutely,
Okay,
that's ridiculous.
That's nothing to comparison.
What that event raised is just
Yeah, that means if you have all those people in the room that claim like
Yeah.
they're the top of the K-pop world, they should be able to raise the funds
for sure.
that cause a commotion to where they need an investigation of, did you raise this money properly? Like, that's what it needs to happen.
Prosecutor's office referred this individual, let's call them A, to the juvenile division instead of pursuing criminal charges. Why? Because they believed the actions were not severe enough for punishment, and the person's age played a huge factor. One legal source even told reporters, it's highly likely this happened due to a lack of understanding of the laws. Minors are generally subject to the Juvenile Act, and we felt the case was not worthy of punishment. Basically, the court will now review the person's age and the seriousness of what happened before deciding if it deserves any protective action. If the case is considered minor, it'll be dismissed with a no disciplinary ruling. Now here's where the situation really snowballed. Team Bunnies, for anyone who doesn't know, was a fan group formed last year to defend NewJeans during all that chaos between...
I mean, it's not shocking that the person behind it is a kid, because it feels like only the kids couldn't really understand the seriousness of their situation and support them in that lawsuit. I think anybody that's, grown and been through issues in life understands how law works, how contracts work, so...
For me, I'm skeptical that they're putting it on the kid, because oftentimes it can be the kid as a proxy, and there's a bigger figurehead behind the scenes that's making all the calls, but the kid is like the one that has the name to organize. Say, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to organize this so you can like learn from footsteps, but really is to make sure if anything was to go wrong, that for a kid they're not gonna go as hard. So I'm very skeptical, because how can a kid, like, now that's really embarrassing for the cancer event. Like, this is a kid who put this on?
I can't say wrong. It's...
How old is the kid are we talking about?
I don't know. Minor. That's all we know.
A minor?
17 and below.
A minor is able to, like, organize. Like, we have, like, K-pop idols who don't know how to make a bed, and the excuses are very kids.
I mean, I think...
This is a high-level minor, then.
Well, right. Not every minor is the same, so I'm not... I think it could be a minor, but I think what you're saying also is possible. We see that a lot, like in gangs, that they just put it on the kids to take the rap, so because the punishment is lesser. So
and let's say this wasn't as extreme. It would be like the kid, like who's the young lady who went over on the boat.
On the boat.
She was starving herself. She's from...
On the boat.
Yeah. She's from one of the Nordic countries. They make fun of her. Uma. It's giving Uma, because Uma, she's doing like extraordinary big things at her age. So you're telling me that this person who organized this event is like...
I mean, I could have organized it at 17 if I was... Yeah, I could have done it. If I wanted to, yeah, why not? I don't think that was...
Don't make it sound like that's ordinary.
Well, that doesn't
That's
mean
definitely extraordinary.
Okay, the person could be extraordinary, but I don't think it's impossible for a teenager to organize that. But I don't want to say what you're saying is wrong either, because it's possible too. Like, it's not that it's unheard of all for kids to take a rap for adults, because the punishment is lesser.
Saying, if it was a minor, for sure, it's an extraordinary minor, because that's not the norm.
Hybe and Adore. They launched a massive fundraising campaign to report and counter malicious posts about NewJeans, and that campaign absolutely blew up. They raised over $50,000 KRW. That's around $35,000 USD in just 8 hours. But here's the catch. Under Korean law, any fundraising that exceeds $10,000 KRW, roughly $7,000 USD, has to be registered with the authorities. which they didn't do. So now, those donations are frozen while the investigation continues.
I also think it might be a kid because this is such like an oversight, and as they said, what the extenuating circumstances that they might not have understood the law. That's why I think it's possible it could have been a kid because they didn't understand that, you know, over 10K it needs to be reported. Because this is like, it's not like they did something intentionally wrong. It's just they didn't fully follow the protocol of how to collect money, which again, them being a kid makes sense that they didn't really get, you know, they didn't know the law like that. So, because this is not like, oh, they hid the money or they, you know, open up a shell company and try to send money overseas, try to money launder. This is not that. This is like somebody just literally over 10K had to notify somebody. They didn't notify, probably because they didn't know they have to.
And depending on the final outcome, the unused funds will be refunded back to donors. Now, if you thought fans would just stay quiet about this, oh no, K-netizens dragged the fandom in the comment sections. And some of the reactions were brutal. Here are a few examples that went viral. Even if a minor had stepped in, with a fan base that large, they should have stopped it. This fandom is so bizarre in so many ways. Did they...
I don't know. I don't think there is no reason to drag the fan base. If anything, what you said, drag the W Korea, how a minor could raise this much money and a W Korea couldn't raise nothing.
The key.
EXO-CBX claims they were left out of EXO comeback, blindsided by SM Entertainment. Okay.
EXO-CBX, Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin have officially broken their silence on the recent shockwaves concerning EXO's full group activities. In a detailed statement released by their agency, INB100, the trio revealed a timeline of events that paints a picture of confusion, miscommunication, and apparent frustration with SM Entertainment. According to the statement, EXO-CBX had been actively negotiating to participate in EXO's upcoming projects. The timeline shared by INB100 begins on July 9, 2025, when the trio met with SM Entertainment to confirm mutual intent and direction for a full group comeback. Fast forward to September 10th, and both sides had exchanged concrete agreement drafts, signaling a move into what the agency calls a practical negotiation stage. Here's where it gets sticky. INB100 claims that after the second mediation session on October 2nd, EXO-CBX had agreed to all of SM's proposed conditions. In other words, the trio cleared their schedules, adjusted personal plans, and made themselves fully available for EXO activities in December, expecting SM to respond with final confirmation. However, the blow came unexpectedly. EXO-CBX members learned that SM Entertainment had already announced an EXO fan meeting and full album release without their participation. From their perspective, this blindsided them after months of preparation.
That's kind of fucked up, but I would like to hear SM's side of the story. I would like SM to make a statement because we're hearing their side of the story and there's a lot of assumptions. They assumed we're hearing. I want to see, you know, why SM changed their mind, or it was their mind change, or they just maybe misunderstood the situation. Because at the end of the day, they did leave SM themselves. They sued them to get out of the contract. So, you know, the fact that SM don't want them, I don't think that's bad in itself. However, if SM did like not promise, but like they agreed, like verbally agreed, and then last minute switched it up, that's fucked up. But is that what happened, or is that their side of the story? You know, because they could be saying that, but there might be some details missing why they're doing that, you know.
And negotiations, forcing them to respond publicly to clarify their stance. From a deeper analysis standpoint, a few key observations stand out. 1. Timeline transparency. By providing a detailed date-specific account, INB100 is emphasizing that EXO-CBX acted in good faith. This is significant because it frames the trio as proactive and willing to cooperate, countering any narratives that they were the ones stalling the group's activities. 2.
Now, it could be straight up that, SM was just being petty and they wanted to, like, play games with them and, because you left us, now I guess we're going to, you know, checkmate you, waste your time. It could be that, and I feel like if SM doesn't come out and make a statement, that was the case then. Because I feel like if that's not the case, then SM should make a statement about this.
Corporate communication issues. SMU Entertainment's announcements appear to contradict the ongoing negotiations. Even if the company internally planned a schedule without CBX, the timing of public announcements suggests either a breakdown in communication or a strategic decision to move forward without full participation. 3. Legal and negotiation nuances. The statement repeatedly mentions legal, representatives, and the formal mediation process. This indicates that both sides are navigating contractual obligations and possibly non-disclosure clauses, which adds complexity. EXO-CBX's willingness to publicly share this timeline suggests that they feel SM may have overstepped or misrepresented the situation. 4. Fan dynamics. The trio's apology to fans isn't just politeness. It's a strategic acknowledgement of the emotional investment of EXO-Ls. Fans have been vocal about full group activities, and by framing themselves as committed and blindsided, EXO-CBX is positioning themselves as aligned with fan expectations, potentially garnering public.
Right, because it could just that they're doing this, to look good in public too. Like they're saying, "Oh, it's not us, it's SM,"
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this one because there's so many issues between them and the company. So it's like two sides, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what is the other side of this? Because it cannot just be a misunderstanding where they're just like, SM just proceeds without them, with no form of communication of what's going on.
Yeah, as I said, would like to hear SM's side of the story, but yeah, if they don't make any statement, then we kind of just have to take their
Take
word
their
for
side,
it. Yeah.
Public support in a high-stakes negotiation. 5. Implications for EXO's future. If this dispute isn't resolved quickly, it could impact EXO's cohesion, promotional strategy, and even the reception
they
of
have to
upcoming
come out.
projects.
They have to.
Fans may start questioning SM Entertainment's management decisions and transparency, which has ripple effects
Yeah.
across PR, ticket sales, and social media perception. This is
Also,
not just another idol
what does
versus
it say for other groups under SM?
Well, they're not under SM though. They left SM. They
Mhm.
got out of the contract, sued, so. But it just from a business perspective, like that's already, bridge under the water,
I'm
water
think-
under the bridge. Sorry. I don't know.
I'm thinking more like, you see how, okay, Blackpink was under YG. Now Rose is off to their own thing, and everyone in the group are off to their own thing. But to
That's a
go
little
ahead,
different though, because the group is still under YG.
uh-huh.
Here, they're not under SM as part of the group. They
Mhm.
left.
Mhm.
Like they sued to get out the contract, so they're no longer there.
But for SM to proceed to say they're having these events or these plans, then how can they just go ahead and do that then?
What do you mean?
Because to me, if there was miscommunication that they were notified to say, okay, we want to do something like for EXO, but they no
Yeah.
longer have EXO under the SM brand, how can they just go ahead
They
and say
okay.
that?
They have EXO under the SM brand, but EXO under SM brand is like half the members. The other, well, maybe more than half, but only like so few members. The other members left, but in this case, they wanted like a full member, everybody's included comeback. So, they would have to like contract the other three guys as subcontractors from another label to come for this event or this album, this comeback, whatever that would entail. And they
Because then it could be like a strategy, to get the hype going, so they can like show like, okay, there's interest to have all the members in. So it would be on them, the three who are out, to let the fans down and not SM. We're not trying to put it together.
It could be the strategy, yeah, but it's just right now it doesn't look good for them, whatever the strategy was intended to be. Especially because their companies said that, came out and said, oh, we tried, but SM dropped the ball and wasted our time, if anything. So, I don't know.
This is agency story. It's a case study in K-pop management, artist rights, and the delicate balance between corporate planning and personal commitment. EXO-CBX's statement shows clear intent to reunite EXO as a full group, yet the conflicting announcements reveal either mismanagement or deliberate strategic choices by SM Entertainment for fans and industry observers alike.
But
This
why
is a
would they
story to
wanna
watch closely.
Be a part of anything to do with SM though.
That's what I'm a
This
little
is like-
confused. I'm like, you left SM. Why you want to do SM now?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. You sued to get your way out of there. Now you want to go back to work with them? Why? Then why get out of there? That is confusing for me as well. I agree. SM's rookie girl group, Hearts2Hearts, accused of avoiding encores. Fans defend them. I mean, they are avoiding. Well, I don't know if they're avoiding encores. I know they're avoiding singing live because I feel like we have yet to see them live.
I would think encores would be easy because it's like you don't have to give the same energy supposedly like you did in the original performance.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
I would think it would be easy for them, easy money.
we have not seen them live yet. I think every time we react to them Live, they're lip syncing.
So, SM Entertainment's brand new rookie girl group, Hearts2Hearts, just found themselves in the middle of their first mini controversy. And it's not even about their music or visuals this time. Nope. This one's all about encore stages. A post on a popular Knet forum recently went viral, calling out the group for avoiding live encores. After winning on music shows like The Show, the post racked up over 60,000 views, with the OP basically saying, it's not like their song Focus is viral, or their schedule is packed. They pre-recorded the performance, so why skip the encore again? Are they afraid some members will mess up like Illit or Lee Seraphim? Oof, direct hit. Of course, once this started spreading, comments began flooding in from every direction. And honestly, it turned into a bit of a fan war versus skeptic showdown. Some people accused SM of trying to protect the group's image, suggesting they weren't confident enough in the girls' live vocals. Others, however, immediately jumped to defend Hearts2Hearts, saying that it wasn't about avoidance at all. It was literally
I don't think there's much to defend. I don't think they can sing live at this point. I mean, we have not seen them live in any. All the SBS, Gaio de Jones, wherever we've seen them, they're not live. Like, there was not one live performance from them. So to me, that all that shows is they can't sing, because otherwise I don't see why.
a schedule issue, according to multiple fans and even people who track their activities. The girls had radio and TV appearances that clashed with the show's live broadcast times. One comment pointed out, the first time they had an SBS radio schedule, and this time a KBS recording during the show's time slot. The broadcast was pre-recorded anyway, and they were filming for open concert at another station. Basically, yeah, they weren't running away, they were just working elsewhere. And fans didn't stop there. They clapped back with receipts from Hearts2Hearts University Festival performances, where the members did sing live, and actually
Did they?
sounded great. They did perfectly fine performing live at festivals, lol. Every new rookie girl group gets accused of this stuff. They literally said they had another schedule, you idiot. Do you really think SM would go, oh no, we can't sing live?
I don't know. I guess they did sing live than at the universities, but the pressure is different singing at university versus on TV.
Be serious. The comments were brutal, but the defense was strong. Meanwhile, their title track Focus has actually been gaining slow momentum, currently sitting around Naja 35 on the top 100 chart, which is pretty solid for a rookie act. So while the encore drama made noise online, it doesn't seem to be hurting their rise too much. This whole situation kind of highlights how trigger happy the internet is when it comes
The song is good, Focus. I do like the song, but they also need to start singing live, because this lip syncing business ain't it. Oh, we skipped one video. Hold up.
Some things are just better together. Introduce
EXO's Chen Baekhyun Xiumin Lose 6 lawsuit. Hold up. So maybe that's why they were excluded, because they lost, and then because maybe SM was planning to include them because SM was anticipating to lose, and they lost. SM won, so they like, okay, bye.
the ongoing legal saga between EXO's Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin, also known as CBX, and SM Entertainment just hit another massive wall. And yeah, it's not looking good for CBX right now. According to new reports, CBX has now lost 6 separate legal and administrative battles against SM Entertainment. Yup, 6. Court rulings, police
Oh, so that's why SM
investigations,
doesn't wanna
and even
play
decisions from the
ball.
Korea Fair Trade Commission and the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and
Yikes.
Tourism all came to the same conclusion. There's no evidence that SM did anything illegal or deceptive in their contracts. Basically, every time CBX tried to argue that SM tricked them into an unfair deal, the authorities went, we don't see it. Denied. This whole legal mess started back in June 2023, when CBX accused SM of forcing them into long-term, unfair contracts and
So,
demanded
I
their
don't
deal
think
be
they'll give a
terminated.
response from
After some
SM.
very public
Or if they do give a response,
Yeah, I think at this point, SM just won, and they do okay, bye.
they
They
don't
don't want to
care.
deal with them. Yeah, they don't care. I think that's so.
but maybe for public image, they should put out a report.
But what do they say? Because the reality is they just don't care for them. They can't say that.
Well, the thing is, we just did a video where they had me feeling like, oh, they tried to work it out with them, but they're not playing ball.
I think-
So that's the narrative.
True, the narrative is not in their favor. But I think
No.
SM was trying to work out while the lawsuit was ongoing. But now that they won, they don't really need to work out with them. They're good. So to me, that's what happened.
back and forth, they ended up signing something called the 6 for 18 agreement. That agreement said, SM keeps control over EXO group activities, while Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin could run their solo or unit work under their own label, INB100. In exchange, SM would get 10% of CBX's individual revenue. Sounds simple, right? Well, apparently not, because soon after, CBX didn't pay that 10%, and SM was like, excuse me, we had a deal. So in June 2024,
I
SM
wonder
sued them
why
for breach of
10%
contract.
Seems,
whilst-
relatively small.
While
That's small. 10%.
come on, still though.
Yeah, but they could have been sharks.
But
Like if they really felt like they want to sink some teeth in it, would ask for like
to
30 to
me, it's like this.
40%.
It's first of all, they left. Why they need to pay 10%, right? Uh,
Mm.
you just said Blackpink girls. They left. They're not paying nothing to YG for this solo shit. So why should they
Because on
pay?
the terms they left on, they
Right.
left on
Okay.
different
So
terms.
that's
It's
the thing.
different,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
guess.
That's the thing. I don't really see why they have to pay, but whatever. If they do have to pay per contract, then they have to pay. So if they refuse to pay, they breach the contract.
10% as a whole or 10% each?
As a whole, 10% of the revenue, I think. So, or profits, I don't know, whichever.
CBX countersued, claiming that SM had misrepresented key details. But the police decided not to indict SM, and the prosecutor's
I don't think they misrepresented. I think y'all misread.
office dismissed the case altogether due to, you guessed it, insufficient evidence. Then CBX tried another route, requesting SM's accounting records from the past 13 years, which the court called excessively broad and rejected.
Yeah, that's
They
a
even
little
took their
why.
complaints to the MCST
So now,
and KF.
what do you think is going to happen? Like, if SM wants to really like violate, like, and they got like backing from the courts that there was no contract violations. No, SM going to really turn into a
I
shark
think,
and shelve these guys.
well, they can't shelve. Well, I guess, okay, through back channel they can, but like because they're not part of SM, so they
Yeah,
can't like
but
technically
those
shelve.
people are connected.
But the reality is, though, they're gonna go for those 10%, though.
Mhm.
They're gonna
Big
have to pay the
more.
10%.
And more.
Plus interest, probably, yeah.
FTC, claiming SM was hiding financial details and engaging in unfair practices. But both agencies said, nope, no wrongdoing found. So now, after 6 rounds of losing, CBX's legal options are basically running out. Like, if this were a game, they're out of continues. And if that wasn't enough, SM decided to make things even more explosive. Following a Law Times report, SM dropped a statement that immediately went viral on the coup, saying, as CBX continues to deny the validity of their contract and related agreements, it is now impossible to continue EXO activities together. That one line, impossible to continue EXO together, triggered
So I
massive
guess they did make a statement. This is their statement. Because CBX refuses to comply with the contract, we're not gonna continue. So that's their statement.
backlash. Netizens flooded the comments, calling CBX ungrateful, selfish, and saying they should just be officially kicked out of EXO. Some fans defended them, saying SM's system is still
Yikes.
outdated and exploitative. But the overall sentiment online, pretty brutal. The general vibe is that fans feel betrayed, both by the drama itself and by how
I guess
long
they
this has
shouldn't
dragged on.
have agreed to that 10% contract if they felt like. I guess they wanted their freedom so much that they
I
wanted
think
to.
the reason they agreed to the temp because the freedom they had
Yeah.
the freedom. They could have just left period with nothing. I think
Yeah.
they still wanted to be part of EXO. That's why the
Oh.
10%, because you can leave, but if you want to be part of EXO, you're gonna pay 10% of your solo shit. I think that was how it went down. Because I think they could have just left. The 7 years ended. They're free to
They
leave.
should have just left because.
They should. I would have just left. I said,
Because,
"Fuck y'all,
like,
10%. I don't give a fuck."
listen, to perform as a group, we do that here and there.
Yeah,
But to have your freedom to do whatever
yeah.
you want,
I would have
is
just left.
priceless.
Yeah, I would have just left.
Right now, it looks like CBX's legal strategy has hit a dead end, and SM's statement signals a full-on separation from
I
EXO
prefer
could
Baekhyun because I like his music.
be next. If that happens, EXO's future group activities might officially exclude Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin, which, let's be honest, is a huge emotional blow for fans who've been around since the OT12 days. But on the flip side, this also shows just how different the idol industry landscape.
I think that's the thing. I think like for the EXO fans, especially for the trio fans, they're gonna they're gonna blame SM this, SM that. But the reality is there was a contract and those 3 guys didn't follow it. It's not really SM's fault. Now, why they signed that contract, I don't know. I wouldn't have signed it personally. To me, that's not appealing to pay 10% of my. That's like a fucking
Yeah,
mafia
I-
type of
I-
offer, paying 10% big of everything you make. That's ridiculous.
I'd be curious to know what was the the final feelings towards signing that contract
Right.
initially.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have done it, but they did do it. So it's the same NewJeans case all over again. It's NewJeans won it out, but the contract is still valid. So you can't just get out when the contract is there. Oh, muted.
Just maybe, the SM vs CBX war was cooling down after that supposed mediation earlier this month. No, SM just dropped a damning statement that's basically like, you didn't just break a contract, you broke trust and hurt your brothers too. Let's unpack this, piece by piece, because there's a lot of emotional and legal energy flying around. In their
So
newest official
I think this is SM responding to that statement.
response, SM Entertainment is not holding back. They claim that the lawsuit settlement and EXO group participation are two totally separate issues. They've already won every legal round so far. All they asked from CBX, Baekhyun, Chen, Xiumin, was 10% of their solo earnings, something that was apparently agreed upon in June 2023. But according to SM, that payment still hasn't been made, and then they really twisted the knife, saying,
Is
the
it
harm
one
done
lump
to
sum for
EXO as a
payment?
team, and the pain caused to fan.
Like,
Well,
over,
it
like,
would
a
have.
year, I
It
guess?
would no. It would have been like every time, every
Oh.
so often, just pay the 10% what you made in that
Oh.
period. Like every quarter, pay the
Oh.
10%, but they didn't pay. So now it's a lump sum payment for all the quarters since then. So it's like over 2 years.
And fellow members has been substantial. That's basically SM, implying CBX's ongoing public fight isn't just a contract issue. It's tearing the group apart. Now here's where things get confusing and juicy. CBX recently released a statement claiming they accepted all terms proposed by SM during their second mediation on October 2nd. But SM hit back with receipts, saying the trio actually filed an objection on October 16th, 2 weeks later, basically accusing them of twisting the story. In SM's words, we deeply regret today's announcement from the three members, which distorts these facts. So, SM is calling CBX's version misleading, and wants fans to know they're not the bad guy here. According to them anyway, because this isn't just a business dispute anymore. SM is now publicly framing CBX as damaging EXO itself, using words like pain, trust, and fellow members. It's almost like SM is trying to drive an emotional wedge, painting CBX as the reason
They
EXO
are.
can't move forward smoothly. It's strategic and kind of manipulative, depending on how
But
you
it's
read
the
it.
truth.
They're setting up a narrative where
It's. I don't. I mean,
What else is holding it up? If you paid the 10%,
yeah. It's. I don't know if it's manipulative. Yeah, like if they had to pay 10% as per contract, even though it's outrageous, they did sign the contract though. So to me, it's like the same as NewJeans, guys. They signed it, so they had to pay. Their refusal to pay is why they're not gonna be participating. So this is on them. This is not on SM.
SM
Of course, you can say, "Oh, SM is being greedy." Yes, that's all true, but they did sign the contract, did they not?
the responsible parent trying to keep EXO together. CBX, the rebellious kids, causing family drama. And if that sounds familiar, it's because we've seen this playbook before. TVXQ, Chris Luhan Tao, Super Junior M lawsuits. SM loves to frame internal disputes as betrayal of the group unity. SM ended their statement by saying, "We will do our utmost to support EXO's activities, set to begin in December." Translation, EXO minus CBX will continue. We're moving on, which kind of implies CBX might not be part of those December activities, unless some massive miracle happens. At this point, it looks like both sides are digging in. CBX says they've been fair
I think if they paid the 10% for the 2 years, they probably would be able to get in. I don't know.
and cooperative. SM says they've been
How
dishonest
I
and
see it
harmful.
happening
The trust,
is that they're gonna pay. The next time, they're not gonna pay. Because there's not gonna be no need for collaboration.
No, but they will get a judgment against them to collect. They owe it.
Oh.
It's not like it's not.
So why haven't they
optional.
haven't collected since like?
I think they will.
Oh.
I think they're about to get the judgment to collect because the money is owed. The courts ruled the money is owed.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. As always, share as much kindness as possible.